Remember folks that Pippa Middleton is connected through her mother to the Goldsmith family, who've had a blood uniting with the Rothschild family, both coming over from Germany. The Percy family is of far more importance than the front royal family, and always have been in these lands going back way into the Middle Ages. The Percys and the Howards are a dominant force over these lands, and very dangerous families indeed. May I remind you that both are totally Roman Catholic, and you'll note the Howard connection to the Archbishops of Westminster, which is the throne of Vatican power over the United Kingdom. Only the Jesuit United Kingdom Provincial has more covert power since the takeover of the Catholic Church from 1814 to 1870 by these revived Knights of the Virgin Mary IHS, the revived Templars. May I remind you that the Percy family was behind the Gunpowder Plot against the Houses of Parliament with Thomas Percy, which the Percys still to this day laugh about. May I also remind you that 50-degree witchcraft Barbara the bookkeeper Bush is really of the Percy family through what's known as the Pierce family. May I also remind you that Barbara Bush is in complete control of Knight of Malta, George Herbert Walker Bush's estate, and both of these are Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operatives, with George being the US spokesman for the German intelligentsia force. May I remind you that Barbara Bush has a lot of power over ionospheric weaponry and other areas dealing with Nikola Tesla technology. Reminds me of the power of the Wallenbergs with similar weaponry based in Europe, such as the European Incoherent Scatter Scientific Association. Finally, check out how the Howards surrounded and still do to this day Margaret Thatcher. Go see who organised her visit with the Pope while she was Prime Minister, and also recently. Interesting, isn't it, how we see, as a catch, in some ways he eclipses even Prince William within the article. Yes, this is very true, as the Percy family have far greater power than the Windsors. But let's never forget the power of the papal nobility family known as Breakspear over these lands, which is very covert information indeed. May I also remind you of David Rothschild's acceptance to unite Rothschild blood with the ultra-powerful papal nobility bloodline of the House of Aldobrandini. Any offshoot will be very powerful indeed, although never as powerful as the pure blood until their demise. This is evident from the offshoot blood from the House of Orsini, which is the Rosenberg offshoot, a powerful family but not as powerful as the scion of the House of Orsini, where it originates. Interesting to note that the president of AIPAC is Lee Rosenberg. So now you have a Rothschild and Goldsmith mixing with William Windsor, thus a bonding by blood of the Plantagenet, Guelph, Glucksberg, Stuart and Saxe-Coburg Gopher families all in one. You may soon see a mixing of Rothschild and Goldschmidt into the Percy family soon. I doubt Pippa will have any relationship of worth with Harry, as I believe he is the son of James Hewitt and not of Great Master Charles George Windsor of the Order of the Bath. This is why I wouldn't be surprised if Harry is sacrificed in the battlefield at any point soon as an occult sacrifice to lure more people on side for this supposed war on terror. Please note how George Percy is trained up in sustainable development, which to a layman may sound like harmless construction, but it is in fact United Nations Agenda 21, the agenda for the 21st century. The UN Agenda 21 is all about depopulation of the planet following the desires of the Club of Rome and their Global 2000 report. Study DVD operative and Knight of Malta Heinz Kissinger's Memorandum 200 document. Other people worthy of study on the depopulation agenda are Audrey Thomason, Knight of Malta Ted Turner, John Holdren and Jonathan Porritt. May I remind you that Jonathan Porritt is tied to the Optimum Population Trust in Manchester, England, wishing to depopulate the world whilst calling for a specific 50%, that's right, 50% depopulation of Great Britain and 33% depopulation of the United States of America. Jonathan Porritt is also the advisor to Great Master Charles George Windsor.